everyone. Now I've got a very special guest all the way back from Sydney, Australia. I think it's 15 years ago, isn't it? 2000
Yeah,
is it? Yeah.
2005.
Yeah, one of my friends from my postgraduates. I talked to Fanit, a few months ago, and now uh, I have Bilal Anwar, isn't it? I still remember your name. So he lives in US. Previously, when I met him 15 years ago, he used to live in DC, Washington DC, and now he have moved to California. Which area is it precisely? So hi Bilal.
Hey, good to see you, Stefan, after all these
Yeah.
years. I'm down here in San Diego, so
Oh,
two
San Diego.
hours south of LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so what's up? What's happening there? I mean, we haven't met for quite a while, and you seem pretty calmer now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of scared of the new you.
Well, I'm older now. I've got two kids. I've got a 6-year-old and a 1-year-old, so it's not calm. Right now it's calm because I told my wife I'm talking to a friend after a long
Okay.
time. So
Okay.
yeah,
So
we're
you
both
got
working.
so you got two kids, right? And the younger one, I noticed the old one is a girl, right? Because I saw the pictures. So the young,
Both girls.
oh, both girls. Okay, so you're the same as me. I have
Yep.
girls as well. Okay, and then so now you work in the healthcare industry, right? And so what's the update on the situation at the moment, Bilal?
My situation or COVID?
Well, the COVID, of course, and what's going on in the US at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all in limbo right now. I mean, both my
Yeah.
wife and I are working from home. We're
Yes.
obviously following the rules as much as possible. We haven't
Yes.
seen anyone, hardly anyone since we had a Super Bowl party on February 4th or February 3rd. And since then, no one's come over. We haven't had anybody over.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we've been to a couple of people's houses and we were careful. We went on one road trip up the California coast, which we've
Yeah.
done before, but it was a road trip, so it was a little bit
Yeah.
safer,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
stayed in hotels. But yeah, overall, we're just trying to stay away from people because people are not following the rules in California. Cases are surging. There's 1,000 deaths a day, I think, still.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pretty bad.
Yeah. But so you have been in quarantine for like I think now since March in here. I think it's already been for March, April, May, June, July. So 5 months, is it? So
Yep.
are you the same?
Yeah, around March, I remember March 15th, I ran a half marathon outside. It was already canceled,
Wow.
but I just ran it myself just because I'd signed up for it. So I just went outside and ran 13.1 miles. But I remember that was around the time when, they started the quarantine
Yeah.
measures. So yeah, it's been
Yeah.
what, 5 months?
Yeah, I think it's around that time. So yeah, you've been working from home, and I think there's a lot of people there that's really wants to still go outside and not wearing masks, and then on the basis of having the freedom. Uh, so are they still protesting, or things are already simmer down, tone down, and people got mixed up about that, or as well as with the Black Lives Matter, isn't it? So people,
Yeah. There's
you know,
protests on both sides.
yeah,
Things, it's a different story every day.
yeah,
What I
exactly,
learned about it is, what I watch on the news. So right now there's a lot of protests still going on for COVID, not wanting to wear a mask. There was a big biker rally in South Dakota. I
yeah,
think there were 250,000 people that joined, and nobody wore masks. So
exactly. So I saw on TV as well. I mean, for the Black Lives Matter, I think they just, you know, stand close to each other and then they don't wear masks. So how do you differentiate between the one that protesting for the COVID freedom, you know, and the one who is protesting for the Black Lives Matter when it happens, you know, all together?
Yeah, well, they both sides need to wear masks, obviously. Right now, the Black Lives Matter protests are mostly concentrated in certain areas, so
Okay.
they've died down. You know, when George Floyd was murdered,
Yes, yes.
obviously it was really bad for the next few weeks. But right now, most of the protests are out of Seattle, actually, Seattle, Portland, places like that. They've settled down. Not many in Minnesota right now. I haven't
Okay.
heard much from Atlanta or Baltimore. It's ironic because Seattle and Portland are, you know, Pacific Northwest, so very liberal places. There's far right people and there's far left people out
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
They're the ones that are actually protesting, so it's interesting.
yeah. You know, I think, and also, I also wondering about whether that also related to the upcoming election. Is that?
Yeah, yeah, it's all related, obviously.
There's so
Right now,
many issues going on.
so many issues, and now we have to deal with the whole postal office issue. You know, the current administration, they're trying to not allow mail-in votes, which would be a
Okay.
huge problem for our
Yeah.
country, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know
Yeah.
what's going to happen there.
Yeah. Because with this situation, I mean, you have to have a minimum physical contact. So everything post, you know, election is just, I think, making it more difficult. And I just wondering, because I haven't followed the news lately, what happened with the police who, you know, allegedly murdered uh, George Floyd? Is already been, you know, trial or?
No, they're still, I think two of them are out on bail, and I don't know the one that
Okay.
put the knee on him. I don't know where he's at, but I mean, these things take time, so they haven't made any decisions yet, I
Okay.
don't think. Um,
Okay.
right now, they've been indicted on murder charges, but
Yeah.
I think the prosecutor is still working on it, so it could be another few months. So, and then depending on the result, then we may see massive protests if
Okay.
they're, you know, found not guilty.
Exactly. I think it's going to turn it's upside down. I think it's going to be, you know, chaos because I
Oh,
think,
it's gonna be bad. Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be bad, and there's a lot of people who you know, who kind of like using that situation as well to rally against the current administration, right? Because yeah, it happens during the his administration, Trump, your beloved Trump.
Our beloved Trump. Yeah.
So yeah, and then the next thing is, I think we can talk about, because I'm having this seasonal topic, and this time around I'm talking about how to become an entrepreneur. So if you want to start your own business, and what does it take, and if you already have a business, then what is the ups and downs, and the struggle during the situation as well, because this, you know, the American, you know, US have a really you know, a lot of small medium enterprise, right? It's kind of like the backbone of the whole country. And I think the government is also encouraging people to start their own business. So then in here as well, we try to, you know, because at this point of time, I think the one that can survive, uh, it's it's uh, it's the one that having a smaller scale of business, because they don't have a lot of overheads. You know, they can still take care of their employees, And I see there's a lot of small medium enterprise that's already coming back. Start to gain their sales back. So what do you think about that? And you mentioned to me about, even though you work at corporate, you still have to always have like the side hustle. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
When you said that, I was like, oh, that's something we can talk about.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now I don't have a side hustle. I've been trying for the last 5 years. I think I've watched every episode of Shark Tank. My wife is sick of it. So my head is always, spinning. I'm always trying to figure out what I can do on the side. So a few years ago, after the MBA, I got my CPA.
Wow.
Yeah, because I loved all those accounting and finance classes that we took during the MBA program.
Are you
So I got my
kidding me?
CPA.
Are you kidding me? Oh my!
Yeah, I did. That was good, but
It's really difficult.
It is. It's especially if you're not an accountant or a finance person.
Exactly.
I have an MBA background, but the exams themselves are very difficult. So I've been trying to see what I can do with that on the side. But with a full-time job, it's hard. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get more into investing, like learning about index funds, stock market, real estate, things like that. I think for people who, especially with COVID, I'm learning that, having a job is not enough. You need a side hustle. You need to make sure that you have your
Are you experiencing a pay cut as well, or
No. So for me, everything is fine. But people around me have been laid off. Who knows? Tomorrow I could be laid off. So luckily, I'm fine right now. I have a job. But tying yourself to a company and hoping that they don't fire you is So I'm really learning about index funds. Versus mutual funds, ETFs, things like that.
That's what I've been doing for the past 5 years.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, of course. Previously, I work in a asset management company. So yeah, but the universe of the stocks here, it's a lot smaller than in the U.S. And in the U.S., you can do a lot of things on doing ETF, and then also it's more speculative than here because there's a lot of regulation here that you cannot do this and that still, and the number of stocks that been traded, it's not as big as in the US. So it's it's very limited. So it's not very creative. So basically, you already have that certain kind of index fund that you can refer to, and then there's a lot of big caps. You don't play around with the small one, so because it's not going to give you anything. So U.S. stocks market is more interesting. Just be careful. Just be careful.
I'm being careful. I'm not going to do any options or option trading. I think day trading is too risky. I'm trying to see what I can do to build wealth in the next 10 years. So my family is secure and we don't have to depend on a job all the time. So 401k obviously is very important. A Roth IRA, things like that for us. So those are the big things I'm focusing on right now.
Well, that's a very interesting choice because you need to have more time to be able to think. I'm not saying that it's not possible, but if you want to completely what I'm saying is that if at the end of the day you want to quit your job and focus on trading, you need to have more time because you need to pay attention to all the movement and the research and that sort of thing. That's why they have fund manager. But if you do it like part-time and still doing your work, well, you can do that actually.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to automate everything. I think that's the best way to go. Have enough money to put into your ETFs and index funds and just watch it grow, and then put in money into, you know, solid stocks. I haven't
Yes.
put anything in actual stocks. Yeah, just
Yeah,
very
yeah.
small amount. So
Working in the pharmaceutical company, the healthcare industry, do you have a view on about the COVID vaccine?
yeah. Well, so I don't work in on the pharmacy side. I'm on the payer and provider side, so working with
Oh,
insurance
insurance.
companies and
Ah,
hospitals.
okay, okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, COVID vaccine, I'm following it pretty closely, seeing which
Yeah, yeah.
company is going to come ahead. I think there's 3 or 4 big ones like Novavax and Johnson and Johnson are some of the big ones that are in test phases, and they've gotten like seed money.
They're pretty close, right? In getting it done.
I think so. Yeah, I don't know timeline wise who's gonna come out first, but hopefully we have something by before the flu season.
To end this, because you know, like thank you for you know, the talk, and nice nice to have see that you become more wise. Why?
And we all have.
I'm just joking. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Bilal.
Yeah, no, thank you.